Back, everybody, to another Generation S episode. NFL, you know the vibes. Just like the NFL, last week we took a bye week,
Hmm.
so we're gonna catch up on what happened on our predictions last week. Um, I'll go ahead and start us off. Me and Austin, 10-3. Zach, 9-4. Jake, 8-5. Jake picked Detroit to win against the Rams. That was a great pick to cover because it did, and the line was massive, and I knew they would cover. I was on the boat that Detroit is going to win a game, but we'll get to that here in a second. But I was the only one that picked the Giants to win and the Bengals to win. So those were good picks for me. Um, we all missed San Francisco against the Colts, which, I mean, I'm not even mad about that. Colts are a weird team, hard to pick. But, I mean, as a collective, we had a really good week last week.
True. There's just a lot of cookie cutter games. I mean, I did pick Tennessee to beat Kansas City. That was a beatdown. That was like a 28-3 beatdown there. Picked Denver, unfortunately. That's tough.
Even started Case Keenum. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's I
Green
still feel
Bay.
like
Yeah, I did pick. Yeah, that was the week that Cincinnati went crazy and Carolina stinks. So that was on me. But yeah, I mean these were all cookie cutter games. Miami's bad, Jets are bad, the Eagles are bad, Detroit's bad, Chicago's bad, Houston's bad. I mean Seattle had Geno Smith, so
yeah,
I don't know. And again, like you said, the Colts are a weird team.
yeah.
Uh, going back now and like knowing now, I would have probably picked the Colts because they've been playing well recently. But again, hindsight, so can't really. At this time though, they were playing really bad. So
I don't even know. I don't even know what the Niners' record is.
they have a winning. I think it's close to winning. I think if it's not winning, no, it might be bad. I think it's bad. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. I think it's like 2-6.
They're 3-4.
Oh, I was wrong one.
Like so, losing record.
Yeah, I think
They
they're
haven't won
last.
a. They have not won a home game.
Unfortunately, it's weird.
Got to keep that in mind.
But yeah, this was now 2 weeks ago because the Thursday night game's over now. So we're officially in week 9. But yeah, this is just a brief overview of 7, just because we took a bye week, like Luke said. But
Moving on to week 8, and hand up. I'm the one that talks all the smack about how we are the hottest pick'em out there. We are so good, and I had the second uh, losing week in the whole thing.
behind
But
me,
at week 1, you don't know the teams at week 1. You don't know that. You know the teams at week 8. You should not be 6-9 at week 8. Hand up. That's on me. It will never happen again. Arizona against Green Bay, still stand by the pick. Just got unlucky. Atlanta, Carolina, stand by the pick. Cincinnati, we didn't know Mike White was the single greatest quarterback to ever live.
yeah, exactly.
Pittsburgh sucks. I didn't pick them. The game was 15-10. That count.
Mhm.
We'll skip that one for now. I will come back to it. Chicago. See, the 49ers were on the road. If they were at home, Chicago would have won 100%.
Obviously,
Um, I love the Chargers and I love New England, so this was a hard one to pick. Not love isn't like I'm a fan of, but like I feel like they're good. Like the Chargers are better than the Patriots, but uh, like I feel like those are two teams that could win like any game. Like we talked about that some, but I feel like those are two teams that could win any game that they're in. Um, what and then a couple other stuff that I missed was just a lot of other people. I mean, nothing crazy that I missed. The other two, but Detroit. Uh, we have a group chat and we send our picks in there. And I picked Detroit to win this game because like I said, let's not pretend Philadelphia is something that they're not. In my whole argument, Zach said you have sinned,
fact. That's
and I said
I stand by that.
Detroit will win a game. This is what I said. I said Detroit will win a game. do you not feel like they would beat a team like Philadelphia? And then they come out, and I mean, the score might have been 85-0.
Essentially, it was.
Because I think they ended up scoring,
Mhm.
but the last time I checked, the score was like 41-0. I was 41-0. But you know what?
They scored a touchdown, but they missed the extra point.
Of course they did.
Yeah,
But Dan Campbell. Do you know what they did with the game tape?
they burned it.
Huh?
Didn't he cry?
No, I mean that was a couple weeks ago. But do you
Oh,
know what they did with the game tape that they watched?
no, I did not.
Literally buried it. Like flash drive. I mean, I don't know what it was on, but like literally after they watched it, they buried it. Like they dug like head shovels out. Like this is 100% true. I mean,
Imagine.
Dan Campbell. I mean, that team is just because after the Rams game, I mean, like Zach said, like they could not have played any better. I agree, could not have played better. Everything went lucky for them. I thought that meant they had some talent to where they were still able to do that. Nice stink. They're not gonna win a game
Never.
next season. 10-7 playoff win. No, that's an inside joke on Pat McAfee. I would never predict that. Next year they will win a game. This year they will not. So
They will get the first pick in the draft. It's Spencer Rattler's season for Detroit.
that stinks.
I know. Oh man.
But they would do that. They would do that.
Facts.
So if you are into sports betting, call the 1-800-gambling line. I'm not. I'm an athlete. Can't gamble. You bet the future for a quarterback being taken number 1 overall. Because right now, Kayvon Thibodeau has the best odds. Take a quarterback, more money. You're welcome. Call that 1-800 number if you have gambling problems.
Facts. I do. I have gambling problems. I don't even gamble. Like just me thinking about gambling. Just me thinking about turning 21 and just blowing every cent I have on sports betting haunts me every day I wake up. But
I don't know if I should tell you this, but you don't have to be 21.
do I not?
No, FanDuel is 18.
Well, there
I
goes
swear,
my mind.
I swear.
Well, there goes every cent I have. So
Call the 1-800 line if you need help. But
I will.
I've ran my mouth because I picked about 80, 100. That's about how it's going for me. I picked 8,000 games wrong. So Zach, how about someone a little more successful?
Heck yeah, man. I wasn't the most successful person this week. Jake was actually because he picked the Green Bay game. Good for him. It wasn't a bad pick to be honest. They were both like Green Bay was like 6-1, so obviously not a terrible pick. Looking back, but I just thought Arizona was too hot to lose. I didn't think this was the game they were going to lose because they had no receivers. Like they had zero.
Right.
They had. So I was like, yeah, I thought this was a surefire win. It was not. They squeaked it out. But in Atlanta, I, I stand by that. Atlanta was hot going into this. They were playing well, and Carolina's just not that good. So I thought they were going to win. They did not. Tennessee squeaked one out against Indiana barely. Uh, I mean, they're a better team though. Buffalo against Miami, obviously. Again, Joe Montana reincarnate in New York, so you can't really do much about that.
His jersey is Hall of Fame. Did you know that?
It should be.
It is.
It is actually.
It's because he's like the second quarterback to ever have 400 yards in their debut game besides Cam Newton.
He's elite. But yeah, Pittsburgh.
He's a Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Famer.
True.
What could we do about it?
True. Just an elite talent. But Cleveland, Pittsburgh is bad. I stand by that. Cleveland's not bad. And they had Chubb back too, so I thought that was going to win. But Pittsburgh's defense stepped up. That's the only thing they have going for them, and they played well, so good for them. Philadelphia, like we went over that. I saw Detroit's horrible. They're the worst team ever.
Ever.
The Rams versus Houston, obviously. I mean, they're one of the best teams in football. San Francisco, Chicago. Chicago's terrible. San Francisco's not that good either, but Chicago's just not good at all. I just like New England a lot. I like Mac Jones. Their defense is really good. It's elite. Their defense is elite. It's not even really good. It's elite. Their offense is like subpar, but it gets enough. They score enough for their defense to win. So they're a sneaky team. Seattle played Jacksonville. Uh, Tampa Bay somehow lost to the Saints with like I don't even know like something Treeland or something.
Trevor Simeon. Trevor
Simeon.
Simeon.
I don't know. I think
He's
I kept buying his first name, but it looks like he's going to start probably for the foreseeable future for them, which is not the best because Michael Thomas is out for the year as well now, so they don't even have any hope with that. Their offense kind of stinks besides Kamara, so it's gonna be a weird season
Mark
for them.
Ingram now too. Mark Ingram now too.
True, but their defense is like really good, so that's
Yeah,
been carrying them so far.
yeah. No
But I
James.
didn't,
No Jameis. MVP. No MVP. Jameis. That's tough.
yeah, and you have no shot of Michael Thomas coming back, so that's unfortunate.
See it.
And they somehow beat Tampa Bay, who was like 6-1 and looked unstoppable. I genuinely don't think Tampa Bay will lose again this year. They might lose one more time, but I don't know how they lost this one. And then Denver, hey, pulled it out. It's the first time this has actually worked out for me. The past couple of weeks, they were on a 3-game losing streak, 4-game losing streak actually, on a 4-game losing streak. They went and they didn't go to Washington. They were in Denver, but they squeaked it out. I'm surprised nobody else picked them. Washington's kind of bad, but uh, they squeaked it out. Good for them. We'll talk about Denver again in a minute, unfortunately, in the wrong side of the news. Uh, I swear, this was the game I was like, this was the one I was like, I'm going to get this one right. I swear I thought Minnesota was going to win this game. There was no Dak. No, Dak didn't play. It was at Minnesota. I was like, man, I'm high. I was high on Minnesota, and they only lost by 4. But I thought for sure they were going to win, but they didn't. So happens to the best of us. And then Kansas City, they played the Giants, still barely won because Kansas City is a poverty franchise now, apparently.
They're
But
bad. They're not good at football.
they're bad.
And I picked them again next week. Picked them again. I can't. I legit can't stop picking them.
I mean, we can just get right into that now. They're talking about that. The games are over with. But yeah, these are the predictions for this week. We all got this right. We can agree in the top row is Indianapolis did indeed beat the Jets 45-30. Very high scoring game. But yes, they did win. So we're all 1-0 so far this week. And then the Raiders play the Giants. We'll talk about the Raiders again, unfortunately, later. But I do have the Giants winning this week. And then Atlanta, New Orleans. You can talk about this one because you have the odd pick here. Well, not the odd pick, like the different pick, I should say.
I am a firm believer, not lying. Jameis Winston will be an NFL Hall of Famer. Okay. Jameis Winston was on pace at the beginning of the year to throw 85 touchdowns this year. He's in my top 5 quarterbacks in the league before he got hurt. So I think without him, this team will be in shambles. Because I mean, yes, they beat the Bucs. He still played like I know the first quarter, and I think most of the first half. All that's to James. So
obviously, yeah.
And then I mean, it's a division game. Atlanta, I feel like this could be wrong. I mean, I feel like they usually steal a game from New Orleans. You know,
probably. I just think their defense is too good right now. I mean, their defense pretty much won them the game against the Bucs, and they just played really well recently. It's definitely won't be a high scoring game because their offense is pitiful now. But I mean, Buffalo plays Jacksonville. That'll happen.
I hate that Atlanta pick. I hate that game. I feel like both those teams, like I could legit see that game being like 3-0.
What, the Atlanta game?
Yeah, I just don't.
Yeah, it's such a weird game.
Because now I'm thinking about who is Matt Ryan going to throw to?
Yeah, because Ridley's out.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts. That is it.
Kyle Pitts, yeah. It's tough. And then Cincinnati. We all picked Cincinnati, actually, which is odd. because I mean Cleveland has everybody back now. So well they don't have Kareem Hunt, I guess, but they have Baker and Chubb, and their defense. I don't know. I mean I think Cincinnati's better personally.
I
Yeah,
enough said.
yeah. And then yeah, Carolina stinks. We all have New England beating uh, Carolina. First time again. We'll get to Denver later, but this is the first time I didn't pick Denver all season. Dak is back. The Dak is back against the Denver Broncos, and there's no physically there's no way that the Dallas Cowboys don't win this game. I think there's no way. And then Baltimore plays Minnesota. I've been really high on Minnesota, but I just don't think Baltimore's gonna lose this one. And then hey, somebody's got to win this game, man. It's like two of the worst teams in football. Somebody has to win, and it was a coin toss. Hey, and I'm just gonna take. I just took Miami. I had to be different. I had to. This could be a separator for the week in my eyes. I don't have many things different from everybody else, so I had to pick. I didn't have to. I don't guess, but I feel like this is a game that can go either way because both of these teams are god awful, terrible teams.
Davis Mills is low key not bad.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with that.
That's
With their
that's the only reason I picked them
yeah,
because I think Tua stinks. I think he's bad.
yeah,
I think Davis Mills is bad, but he's playing right now. Like he's putting up like he's up in there for rookie of the week conversations several different weeks, and like he'll have like 300 passing yards.
yeah. I mean,
But
I just think they have more weapons. I think Miami has more weapons. Jalen Waddle's been playing pretty well as of late. Mike Gesicki has got a lot of receptions. He's doing pretty well. Uh, and their defense hasn't played terrible. I mean, it's not good, but I mean, it's just better than Houston's. I just think they have more weapons in Houston. I just think they're gonna. I think it'll be like 17-13 or something. Like it won't be like a high octane because both of these teams stink. So
I hope that game is like 50-40, like just
yeah,
bam,
just
bam,
like that.
bam, scoring all the points because the defense is so bad. That'd be awesome.
True. That would be nice. And then the is that the Chargers and the Eagles.
It was the perfect letdown game
Yeah,
after
true.
killing Detroit. Perfect time.
And at the end of the day, they're just not that good. And the Chargers are solid. They're not the best either, but they're solid. They're better than Philadelphia by a decent amount. So, and I don't care. It doesn't really matter that it's at Philadelphia. So then Green Bay, Kansas City. This was diff. I changed. I actually changed this game. I did have Green Bay. I thought it was a auto Green Bay win. Devontae Adams comes back this week. He's back this week. They have Rodgers. They have everybody. Uh, that is not the case. Aaron Rodgers, uh,
He's immunized.
he has COVID, and he is no longer playing. Uh, a Jalen was a Jordan Love led offense will probably not beat Kansas City. So,
They've signed Blake Bortles at least to their practice roster.
well, they're starting Blake Bortles in. I'm changing it back. Blake Bortles that offense, that's a different story. But I just think that you just need a quarterback, and I think Kansas City has something to prove. They're eventually going to break out. They have too much talent, man. They're eventually going to have to do something. They could not, but I think this is a perfect game for them to break out and just prove that they're still relevant. Because again, like the Packers just came off beating the Cardinals, the only undefeated team, and it's at Kansas City. So I just think this is a prime opportunity for them to get a much needed win against a good team this season.
I have been the most vocal on this podcast that Kansas City stinks because I keep getting burned by them. I wanted to pick Green Bay so bad in this game, but I put my pick in after the Aaron Rodgers news came out. Just the way the luck was, or me was going to class, checking my phone stuff. So I put my pick in after. I went back and looked earlier. I have picked Kansas City every single week.
I
Every
didn't.
single week.
Yeah, the only
I
week
say every week I say I never want to pick this team again because they beat the Giants by 3.
I
They
think this is
too.
Yeah. This
Blind.
is I only picked them. I picked them every week except the Tennessee week. That's the only week I didn't pick them, and they lost. So it's probably just keep not picking them. But
But I don't understand what's wrong with them. Like I don't understand why they can't play football anymore.
I don't know. I think the magic's gone. That's what it looks like. It's just I don't know. There's just something mentally wrong with everybody. But
Um,
and then Arizona plays San Francisco. It's at
easy,
home.
easy pick,
It's San Francisco's
easy
at
pick,
home.
easy pick. They've never won a home game this year. They haven't won a home game all year.
Ever. I
Over.
don't think ever.
It's one of the hottest teams in the NFL. I mean, sure they got their first loss, but
Yeah. Still one of the best teams. And
I
then
still think the best team. I still think so.
I think the best teams coming up here, the Rams. Uh,
Well, maybe,
yeah, exactly.
maybe.
We'll talk about it. Tennessee just lost. We'll talk about it, but they lost their offense. So I think this was an easy pick. The Rams are one of the hottest teams. I think the best team in football right now, and this is a devastating loss for Tennessee. I think I wouldn't be completely surprised if they won. Tennessee's still a good team. Uh, they signed Adrian Peterson.
All done.
Good for them, I guess.
That's it.
And then Pitts. I mean, Chicago stinks. Justin Fields is
Most
yeah. Justin Fields is bad.
Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh mid.
Pittsburgh's
It's
okay.
not.
Their defense is just so good.
Yeah,
It carries a lot of weight.
yeah.
But Chicago's just terrible. So yeah, those are our picks.
Nothing crazy this week in my mind.
It was
Just
harder than last week.
and a couple like sharp. Like I picked Atlanta instead, and you picked Miami instead. Like nothing. And Austin picked Philly. Like nothing. I don't think there's not too many games where I could see it being like, you know, where it's none of these games were super hard for me to pick. You know,
True.
it's
The
kind
only
of
game that kind of had me on was like the Miami game, I guess. You said I just don't know. They both suck.
yeah.
So
Atlanta, New Orleans is that was kind of tough for me, but I just no Jameis, no Hall of Famer. I don't know how you.
yeah, I just think Atlanta's bad. So
But
uh, I guess I'll stop sharing.
now that we've gone through our picks, we'll go through some of the NFL news. We've talked about Jameis. Prayers up for Jameis. T's and P's. But and like Zach alluded to earlier, Derrick Henry's out. Torres tears ACL, I'm assuming.
Yeah, some with his knee.
Or ACL and MCL. That boy hurt.
Yeah,
And he was still dancing on his crutches. Okay, I'm getting off topic. Okay.
but yeah, I mean Derrick Henry's on pace to have another 2,000-yard season easily. Have a 2,000-yard season with the extra game, and I don't know. I mean, if he had another one, he was probably gonna be a Hall of Famer. To be honest, I mean, he's put together over the past couple of years one of the best running back runs of all time, and I mean, he was not stopping. Like he was going to continue that the rest of the season if he didn't get hurt. So it's unfortunate because who knows if he'll ever be back to what he was now, especially with an injury like that. Hopefully he is because he's literally one of the best to ever play running back.
Yeah.
So
I think he will be because Adrian Peterson towards the ACL came won an MVP. I mean, it's different. Different
good
people.
point.
But
Hope
I
he
think
does.
it is now. I think even if he's not putting up I still think he'll be put up and get enough career to be Hall of Fame. But to me, you said you wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee wins. I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee didn't win another game.
I don't know. I mean, they still have like AJ Brown.
Tannehill's capable. Tannehill's capable, but I don't see them. As weird as it is, I think Indianapolis is going to win that division now.
It's a lot more interesting now for sure. But I still think Tennessee just
Definitely not going to be Jacksonville or Houston. Definitely not.
yeah, that's true. I mean, it's definitely a two-man race, but
Yeah, I think
yeah, we'll just go
it'll be
from the
interesting to see what Adrian Peterson is going to do. I
true.
mean, he obviously won't step in and be that, but
I,
can
I, def,
he?
I definitely picked him up in my other fantasy league. Not gonna cap.
Yeah.
But
Surprise.
also had Derrick Henry in that fantasy league, so kind of it's a tit for tat trade there.
Smart. Probably going to be the same numbers.
Yeah,
Probably.
because Tannehill was still going to give it to him like 25 times a game, so because he just is scared to throw it half the time. But we'll just kind of move down the list. Henry Ruggs, the second. It's a rough situation to talk to really talk about because you probably have heard, I guess most people have. It was a big headline. He got arrested and released from the team uh, because he was involved in a fatal DUI accident, killing a mother and child in a car wreck in New England, and it's unfortunate for both parties. I mean, more so the party of the family that lost the lives. Uh, I mean, because it's just drunk driving is just such a big problem in the world nowadays, and it's just always tough to just talk about it because I mean, it's just a tragedy, it's a death.
Yeah.
Just hard to talk about. But like I said, Henry Ruggs got released immediately by the Raiders. He's looking at 2 to 25. I think I saw in prison,
Yeah.
and he was actually hurt as well. He was in a wheelchair as well in court. So again, his career's over.
Done. Done.
Will never step on a football field again. Unfortunate because he was very talented,
Right.
but that's kind of irrelevant. So, more I
Talent.
condol.
Talent doesn't matter for this. Like,
Yeah. Again, condolences out to the
yeah.
family.
Here's to them, and just don't. I mean, this is a sports content, but don't drink and drive. Just
Yeah,
don't.
that's terrible. It's just not a good thing to do.
It's too easy now to call somebody to get an Uber to get. It's too easy now to.
Yeah, especially if you have millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Uh, it's tough. But that's kind of just
Prayers to
then
everybody.
yeah. Didn't really want to talk about it, but it's too big of a headline not to talk about.
Yeah, I had to mention it.
But this was another big headline.
Possibly the biggest.
Yep.
You got it. You got it.
Okay.
Do you want me to do it?
No, I can do it. I've accepted it now. Again, everybody's probably heard by now, but Von Miller got traded to the Los Angeles Rams for a second and third round pick. Uh, Not a bad trade off. Denver is kind of in a rebuild phase. Uh, they need to be. I mean, they are now. That's kind of just revealed that they were, but it's just tough, man. I mean, Von Miller was Mr. Bronco for the past decade or so. He said multiple times that he wants to retire, or he wanted to retire. As a Bronco, he had no intention of leaving, like on his own. He didn't like stray away from the fact. I mean, he knows. I mean, he knew he was in trade talks in the off season, but he still never expected it. He said, he said in the Rams interview that he had no idea that. I mean, he was blindsided by this move, but he's what?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he just didn't think it was.
I thought he asked. I didn't read anything or anything. I just.
I mean, he wasn't like shocked, but like he just didn't expect it was going to happen like in the middle of the season.
Well,
But
because just the way it happened, and from what I was like hearing, like that he was going to be traded, I thought he was asking out. And then when he went to the Rams, I thought he just asked to be on like a contender. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
yeah, it
Wow.
was just kind of he just thought it was kind of dead. I mean, like he kind of did in the off season, but he thought he was going to like stick out the season. But it was just an odd time for him to get traded, I guess, in his eyes.
That's for you than what I thought originally.
Yeah. It's just tough. I mean, I have a Von Miller jersey. I mean, I love Von Miller. I mean, he was a very big piece of the Super Bowl win in Denver. I mean, he's a 8-time Pro Bowler, one of the best edge rushers of all time, one of the best linebackers of all time. And I don't know, it's just tough. I mean, he was the longest 10-year Bronco. on the team. I mean, he was just it's tough. But I mean, it's time to move on. We got 2 extra picks, high round picks as well. So hopefully we can utilize those well and just move on, I guess. I mean, yeah, I mean it happens. Star players get moved all the time. It was just an odd time to get traded. Just kind of took me off guard. But again, that goes back to the Rams. The Rams got one of the. I mean, he's not like in his prime or anything by any means, but he's still a presence. He was having a good season, to be honest, and they potentially have one of the best defensive cores of all time. I mean, you have the best defensive end in football, you have the best cornerback in football, and you have one of the best linebackers in football now. And then you have their offense, who's been the second most efficient in football this year. So I don't know. It's scary. I think they're the best team now. I think that just added the extra piece. I think that got them over the hump. I think
Mhm.
that makes them better than Arizona. If I think they already had more talent than Arizona, I just think that just added the extra just morale push they needed, just an extra veteran presence. I mean, he's won a Super Bowl. He's been to the playoffs multiple times.
He's done it. So.
Yeah, that's what those young guys need in the locker room. He's just a good locker room presence too, energetic, and he's excited to be there. In interviews, he said like he's excited to be on a contender. I mean, it's been a while since
Sure,
they,
I'm sure.
yeah, it's been a while since they've been a contender. So, and again, like you said, he's been there, he's done that, he's done it before, and I think they're going to do it again. I think this makes them the Super Bowl favorite. I mean, nothing's a lock. It's hard to. I mean, it's like I mean, it's a one game playoff. You can lose one game and you're out, but there's no series or anything. Like if you have a bad game, they're out. They can be out in the first round, but I don't see that. And I don't know. I think the Rams are. I think that was it was a good move by the Rams because the Rams are in obvious win now mode,
Yeah,
and that was just a good move. They saw their opportunity and they took it. I mean, it wasn't the biggest haul. They didn't have to give up like a first or anything,
yeah.
but it means it was still a big haul. I mean, it's a second, third round pick. Those are high picks. But I think that for the guy that they got, not just the player, but the person that they got, I think that they got a steal for this point in the season. I think, yeah, I think that was a good move. I think it's a good move. I think both teams won because the Broncos got extra picks. They needed them
Good
because,
picks.
yeah, they got high picks. They needed it because they're rebuilding. So uh, it's just a blockbuster, just kind of out of nowhere. Nobody really expected it. It's just,
I heard that like he was on the trade block and like he was coming up in like I mean probably not, but he's coming up in Bengals like like we need to trade for because that would be an un-Bengals move, but that'd be a smart team move. Like with the Bengals, it's like hey, like our defense is getting better. We got torched last week, but I mean take that
hmm,
aside, but like and we're like a promising team. That would be a smart thing to go out and get somebody like that, but I do get. I mean, I kind of feel for you because I mean I mean, he's a little better than what AJ Green was, but AJ Green leaving, he was one of my favorite players. He's a cornerstone to the franchise for years. So I get how you're feeling right now, like from the
yeah.
just leaving, especially when it's just like even when the teams were that great, they were still there and still putting up good numbers. So
Yeah, I mean I mean he's a team Hall of Famer, obviously. I mean I don't know, he's been there for like 12, 13 years now. I mean he's gonna be a Hall of Famer, like for pro I mean he's gonna be a Hall of Famer like probably first ballot, to be honest. I mean he's one of the
his
better,
jersey,
yeah, I mean his number's gonna be retired at Denver, and I don't know. It's just such a the timing. I mean, I didn't think he was gonna stay. It was just gonna be his last year anyway. But the timing was just so weird. I don't know. It's just really odd, just kind of out of nowhere. But uh, good for him. Wish him well. I mean, he never bashed. He was never one of those guys that like bashed the franchise or anything. I mean, he loved Denver. He loved being there. And again, just wish him the luck. I mean, he's on probably the best team in football, so good for him. And
yeah,
hopefully they win. I mean, I'm rooting for them. I was rooting for them all year. They were my preseason Super Bowl winner, so it just kind of adds to that. So Good for them.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully, I mean, still root for him and all that, but who do you think? I mean, we're in ranking odds. Where do you think the Rams are right now for Super Bowl favorite? That's what I've been looking away. I'll pull up on my phone looking up these Super Bowl odds. Like, what best odds do you think the Rams have?
Like second,
if
third,
they,
fourth best or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably third.
Third.
Probably behind the Packers and the Cardinals.
Bills and Bucks.
Oof. Well, I was close.
Cardinals are 7th right now. They're plus 1,100. Quick math: if you bet $1, you win $11.
I'll bet like $1,000. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna bet on them, but that's definitely not a bad bet though. Cardinals are good.
Yeah. Ooh, choked up. But yeah. I don't know why I forgot about the Bucks being good. And slipped my mind.
Yeah, it's because they lost to the Saints, probably.
Because of James.
Yeah, obviously. I saw this thing where it said Tom Brady and Mike White went as each other on Halloween. Like they switched bodies.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. But I mean, I think that's gonna do it for us this week. Hopefully I get back on track. I will be better. Hand up, I will be better. And let's see if I can't, have the best week this week in predictions. Let's see if I can't pull out a win in fantasy, So, but we haven't done fantasy.
Yeah, I can pull it up.
No, we didn't do fantasy.
Oh, shoot.
We have to pull up fantasy based off my week went last week. We have to talk about
it. To pull up ESPN.
Oh, we'll cut this out. I need Oh man.
Fucking Thunder beat the Lakers. Imagine. There's no way, bro.
Didn't they beat them before too?
I think no, they won by like the Lakers won by like 4.
No, I swear.
Did they? They probably did. They probably did. It was close. I remember it being close. I just don't remember if they won or not. Like there ain't no way.
I will find this game. Yeah. October 27th, they lost by 8. And I think they came back from down like 26. That's rough.
So.
Jeez. All right. I need another drink.
Smack that.
So here we go. We got last week's fantasy pulled up. I think we can kind of get how it went, but Zach, you want to go ahead and start with yours?
I mean, yeah. I had a decent week, I guess. But yeah, I won by about 100 or so. But I didn't really have anybody go like crazy. I mean, AJ Brown had a good week. He had about 31. About time. He's kind of had a rough season, but he's kind of turned things around. Stafford and Henderson had good weeks as well. I mean, it was just a balanced week. Nobody really went crazy, but everybody depth, man. That's the theme of the video today. But yeah, and then I mean, his team kind of just played bad. So
he's not checking it. So
yeah,
he has Russell Wilson at quarterback. So
that's tough. When his backup Zach Wilson, so tough.
Yeah.
And then Jake won this week as well. That's his top 3. I mean, those are the 3 guys that are gonna give you the most points usually anyway. So good on his part.
Yeah.
He makes them 5-3 now. And then
Game of the century.
the squeak.
1.16, if my math's right. Probably isn't. This game, it came down to he started Sterling Shepard and it was out. No,
Yeah.
Kenny Galladay. Maybe? It was one of the two. One of them. He wasn't playing, and it came down to Travis Kelce and the Giants kicker because I figured the Giants would be kicking a lot of field goals because they were going to score touchdowns. Travis Kelce had like less than a point for like the whole game. It came down to the final drive, and he got just enough to carry me over. I needed psych. I think I needed psych. Oh, I can't remember. I think I needed 9 points, and I scored like 10. And I won it on the last drive of the game. Shout out to Travis Kelce. You stink at fantasy. You stink for fantasy. Not a bad player, but you stink for fantasy. But these are the type of wins that you savor. These are the type of wins. This is checking the waiver wire. This is putting in the work. Having your guys in late at the gym. These are the wins you work for.
Yeah, I've had a couple of these this year. I've had some 5 or 6 pointers as well. But yeah, I mean, this
Those
week.
were good too. Yours.
Well, yeah, I mean, you like winning by a lot too. But this week I play Austin. It'll be a big win if I can pull it off.
Oh wait, I was looking at John. I thought I was John's team. Never mind.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor at 34 for him. But yeah, I mean it'll be a big win. I'll go to 7-2. Gotta extend I'm first right now, so I gotta keep extending. Can't slack. So, I mean, I have a pretty solid lineup going ahead this week. I have some good matchups, and hopefully they work out.
Mm-hmm. I'm playing good old Evan, and right now I'm projected to thrash him. So
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't check his lineup. I'm sure that's what it is because it says he 8 yet to play. So, but yeah, I mean that'd be sweet.
Yep. And then looks like Jake's.
It'd be sweet if you lost too. How am I last?
Because Jake's ahead of you.
Do I not have the tiebreaker? I guess I obviously don't. So
Jake's probably going to win this one as well. So
yeah, be hard if he didn't.
True. So yeah, that's fantasy this week.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you lost and I could get tied up there.
Yeah, that'll never happen.
It would happen so many times. It's gonna happen. So I'm gonna win.
No, I mean I'm gonna beat Austin by at least 100. So,
but if Austin loses, he's inching down towards last place, which is not where you want to be. And if you lose, then I'm tied for first. Probably lose the tiebreaker and still be last in the division.
But, yeah, I mean I beat both of you guys. I beat you and Jake. So I'll still be in first if I lose. Hopefully I don't though.
But I mean honestly, can't go wrong really for me, as long as I just take care of my business. But
true.
We'll see. We will see. But now I think that concludes the NFL episode because we forgot about the fantasy. But thank you guys for watching. Let us know how your team's doing. Let us know how your fantasy team is doing. Yell at me in the comments because I picked Detroit. I stink. Yell at me because I keep picking Kansas City, even though I think they're not as good. Keep yelling at me because I had the worst week in picks so far. I will be better. But yeah, just like, subscribe, share, comment, all that, help us get some views, help us get some likes, help us with that algorithm. Let us get famous. But thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.